أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to all of the members of the Islamic Society of Kingston and to all those who have an opportunity to view this presentation. We welcome you. As members of the Extension Committee, we wanted to provide a community update as to where we are with the Extension project at this time. As you must all be aware at this point, the Extension project itself as a whole was approved many, many years ago and then reaffirmed on multiple AGMs. And we want to start also by thanking all of the previous members of the Extension Committee that have worked on the project over the years. It is their selfless work and hard effort that has now put us in a position to hopefully take the project to its conclusion, inshallah wa ta'ala. So once again, we welcome you, and we'll get started with the presentation. So we wanted to be able to provide to you a framework here, and we've done so by helping you better understand where we were, where we are at this point, and where we're headed and how we intend to get there, inshallah wa ta'ala. So, when we try to better understand where we were, what the challenges were coming into the fall of last year, the previous extension building and design process had culminated in a formal bidding process last summer, which resulted, unfortunately, in a very high bid that was returned. It was only one organization that bid on the project itself, and that bid came in at approximately $8 million. The initial project itself was estimated at about 2.4 million. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that would have changed that number over the years, but needless to say, $8 million was an ambitious task. And once that bid came in, the ISK executives at the time established that this was no longer feasible for us to move forward responsibly. So, as a recap, that previous bid that came in last summer delivered a building shell and building services for phase one at 5.5 million. Phase two, which would have been the interior fit up and final site work at 2.65 million, resulting in a total cost of approximately 8.15 million. So, on the heels of that bidding process, the previous extension committee, to whom again we are exceptionally thankful for all of their effort and work over the years, without which we wouldn't be in the position that we are in right now. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward all of you for all of the work completed to date. So, moving forward out of the summer, the previous committee had concluded their work. A new committee was formed and established coming into September of 2022. The members of the Extension Committee are visible to you here on the screen. I myself, Zerman Khan, as the chair, and Sister Al-Shima Muhammad as the co-chair, and then all of our wonderful members that have delivered tremendous contributions since September of last year, and we're fortunate to have them all with us, and we look forward to working collaboratively with all as we continue to move through the process at large. So where we are at this time, and what is the work that has been going on? So in September, we came together as a committee, and we held a brainstorming session, really over a couple of different meetings in September. And then on September 17th, we had established a clear vision for the project, which resulted in the mandate that you see in front of you, which is to expand the existing Islamic Center of Kingston, ICK, in order to properly accommodate activities run by the Islamic Society of Kingston, ISK. This will be accomplished by building a multi-purpose space adjacent to the current structure in order to address the current and future needs of the community. Um, so when we took a look, one as the budget that was available to us, the projected budget was about 1.6 million. That needs to be further refined and confirmed, but that was the number we were working with. Some of the costs paid out previously with the previous extension committee, there was about $69,673.42 paid towards a building permit and about $100,000 deposited for our site plan control. The building permit, because we were not moving forward with the initial plans that had been presented because of the high bids, we had to cancel that permit and we'll be re-engaging on a new permit this year, inshallah. So the $69,000, we were able to, alhamdulillah, recover a large portion of that. The static percentage refund that comes back would have been less than $30,000 of that amount that is listed there. And we went through an appeal process with the city, which enabled roughly about $42,000 returned to us. That amount has been returned to the operational fund because it was paid through there. So at least some of those funds have been recovered and a lot more than we had initially expected. So alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. The site plan control deposit is approximately $100,000. That money is there in the form of a deposit, which is returned to you at the conclusion of the project. The larger portion of the amount, 90% of it, is returned after the first year of the conclusion of the project, and the remaining 10% a year after that. So, inshallah, we'll be able to actualize those funds back towards the community or ISK. So coming into October, we had established again through the brainstorming sessions that we needed to take a look at a new layout and framework. And really, what we had established coming out of those discussions and meetings with the Extension Committee was to design a rough concept layout of approximately 5,000 square feet, which is our hope, of an assembly space, along with the necessary washrooms and some additional storage to accommodate the flexibility that would be required based on our needs. And it would be designed in a way that it would be ready to be expanded upon in years to come. So it would be built ready to accommodate a second floor if and when needed based on the increase in size of the community, or extend it out further in width or in size, once again, depending on our needs in the future. So the structure will be ready to build further on top of in the future, inshallah. And what you see here, thanks to Sister Al-Shima, our co-chair for the Extension Committee, who's also an architect, she was able to put together a rough design based on our discussions and our thoughts that you can see visible on the screen here. So it really is simply put a rectangular shape that will provide maximum use of the space itself, whether it be for classrooms, for additional overflow space, or any other activities, especially for Salah, of course, specifically for Jummah prayer, where we experience the highest need, as we all witness on a week over week basis, inshallah ta'ala. So coming out of October and as we moved into November, it was now time to start to take a look at architectural design firms that would facilitate the requirements for our design. So we worked with a couple of different firms to try to gain a general understanding on costing, and we were looking at about $350 to $450 a square foot. So with a budget of about 1.6 million, it would hopefully provide anywhere between a 3,500 to 4,500 square foot structure. And for reference purposes, the current prayer hall is about 2,600 square feet. So that should give you an idea of the amount of space we would be gaining in the new structure. The discussions with the different architectural design firms, also collaboratively with our executive team and extension committee, brought us to a conclusive decision on Schultz and Zabak Architects Limited. They're the individuals that we have now contracted in as our architectural design team. And it was through the process and discussions with the design teams as well as our committee that a construction management model would be best employed in order to protect our budgetary constraints and requirements, to stay in line with that, and to work as an ally from our perspective and our standpoint towards the architectural design team, as well as general contractors and subcontractors there forward, inshallah. Once we had acquired Schultz and Zabak, we had an official launch meeting with them, through which we were able to further discuss in detail analysis of the site, our design expectations, and the initial concept sketches that were provided by Sister Al-Shima. And then we wanted to move forward in gaining some quotations for the construction managers that we hope to have working with us. So Schultz and Zabak were tasked to be able to acquire those quotations. They were able to do so coming through February and into early March. And we received quotes from three different organizations, being Bourgeon Construction, Emmons and Mitchell, as well as the Anglin Group. And in reviewing all three of those quotations, Bourgeon Construction delivered the best value overall and was most cost effective. And from as we evaluated again with the executive management team and the extension committee, Bourgeon Construction was inevitably the successful partner that we have decided to go with, and the agreement or arrangement or contractual agreement with them was signed on Sunday, March the 12th. And we are now with the two key components that were required, the architectural design team and construction management side. That has been solidified. We can now move forward, alhamdulillah, with the actual design work and inevitable build of our project, which we have all been waiting for quite some time. So where are we headed? So at this point, taking a look at the realistic timeline that's in front of us, the general time frame on the design process is roughly 3 to 4 months. The city permits and site plan control is approximately 9 months, and then the construction itself would be about 8 to 10 months. So a couple of things to take note of. Again, we already have a site plan control in place, but an amendment to that site plan control will be required, which might still take up to 9 months. We're very hopeful, inshallah ta'ala, that it not take that long, but we want to at least make you aware of the timeline that we might be looking at, and then inshallah the construction of 8 to 10 months. So we do need to file a new building permit, which we will be able to do so once the design has been solidified. So we're hoping to see that design as you see below by July of this year, inshallah, and then the city permits and site plan control. If it went a full 9 months, it would bring us closer to April of 2024. Again, we're hoping for that to be shortened. And then if the construction ensued in May of 2024, according to this timeline, we'd be looking at a potential completion date by the end of the year or very early of 2025. So this is, where we are at this point. It's where we're headed, and you have an understanding now of how we hope to get there. There will be a lot more information that will be provided to you at the AGM, inshallah, in May. And for now, we hope that, again, you find the information beneficial, and we encourage you to reach out to the executive management team if you have any questions, or to any member of the extension committee. And aside from that, we're just about at Ramadan, so Ramadan Kareem to everyone. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it a beneficial and fruitful time for everyone. And we hope to see all of you really soon. Jazakallah khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much.